1 to 2% every single day. That is your goal. And when you lose, you want that loss to be significantly small. In this video, we're going to discuss how to make a ton of money trading the 1 DTE strategy. 1 DTE means 1 day to expiration. Now, before we start by jumping into the steps you need to take to make a ton of money trading the 1 DTE strategy, let me put some framework around the strategy. So you have what is called a 0 DTE option strategy, which is basically day trading with options. And it's done with the SPX, and it's also done with options on futures using the ES. The 0 DTE trade is the type of strategy that you can make the most money with, but you also have the most gamma risk because literally the options are moving super fast with directional risk within that same day expiration. So if you're going to do that strategy, you're going to have to learn how to use a stop loss at a significantly high level. You're going to have to learn how to adjust at a very high level. You have the 1 DT strategy that's becoming more popular. I know we're pushing it a lot here at the Dorian Trader, and we're going to give you all the details about that here in a second. But you also have what is called the 7 DT trade, and it's just a week option trade, 7 days out. And that one is becoming something I love to trade because it allows you to have less gamma risk than the 0 DT trade and less gamma and overnight risk with the 1 DT trade, and it allows you to adjust a little easier. And we have other videos on that, and we encourage you to take a look at them because that trade might be more suitable to your temperament and your trading style and your lifestyle, especially if you work a full-time job. But I want you to know that these trades can be done at night as well using the ES. And the ES has some benefits because the ES options trade almost every day except Saturdays. And if you have a full-time job, you can trade those options at night. You can do a 1 DT trade. Don't recommend it, but you can do a 1 DT trade at night. And you can definitely do a 7 DT trade only looking at it at night. And you can make a ton of money doing that. You can also day trade the ES and not have to deal with the day trading pattern rule because the ES is regulated by a different regulator, the Commodities Futures Trading Commission, and not the SEC. So you do not have that PDT rule. The ES options can be phenomenal for short-term trades. I think it's much, much better for longer-term trades, things that are 30 plus days out. And we talk about that in other videos, so you can take a look at that on our kind of swing trading, bread and butter type of trading. But this 1 DTE trade is pretty phenomenal because you almost get best of two worlds. The 0 DTE type of money making that you can have with that strategy and the adjusting you can have with the 7 DTE strategy. Here at the Dorian Trader, we've been trading this 1 DTE process for over a year now, and it's been phenomenally successful for us. We make money almost every time we do this trade. Yes, we have had losses, but to this point, we have never woke up the next morning and had our position in the money. We believe that's going to happen one day. So you have to understand that the 1 DTE trade has the most overnight risk because if anything happens that night, you don't have any time, especially if you're trading the SPX, to be able to adjust that. If you have the ES, then maybe you can if you put alerts on your phone or your computer and you jump up and you make some adjustments before it gets out of hand. But if you trade the 1 DTE processes the way we're about to discuss, then you're going to have a very, very small probability over a significant amount of trades before you have an issue with a overnight situation. So you're going to make a ton of money, and when that situation does happen, you'll be able to adjust to minimize the loss for the most part. Obviously, it could be some black swan situation where you're going to have a max loss on the trade, and that's just the way it's going to be eventually. But all the money that you're going to be stacking up, it should supersede that a significant amount to make this trade worth doing into perpetuity. So before we move on, I do want to point out that here at the Dorian Trader, we're trying to grow our YouTube subscribers to over 5,000, and we are significantly below that. So if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do. If you find value in the videos that we provide, please subscribe, please support us, help encourage us to keep doing this, seeing the channel grow, helping us feel like we are making a difference. Doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot. That's all you have to do is hit subscribe, and it's not going to cost you anything, but it'll definitely brighten our day and help us get to that 5,000 number. Appreciate it in advance. All right, so with that said, let's talk about the 1 DTE process, because if you understand the process at a high level, you can significantly change the landscape of your financial situation. You can transform it and be a money making machine. And that's what we're here to do. When you trade, you should be trading to make money. You shouldn't be trading for entertainment. And for some reason, a lot of people are trading for entertainment with this 0 DT stuff, this 1 DT stuff, the 7 DT stuff. They're doing it for entertainment and they're blowing up their accounts. Here at the Dorian Trader, we teach you to make money. That's the end goal, to make money. And that's going to look different for a lot of different people. Some people want to just supplement their income a little bit. Some people want to do this full time. If you're serious about trading and you want to trade full time, we can teach you how to do this. We can teach you how to do it using the 0 DT process. We can teach you how to do it using the 1 DT process, the 7 DT process, the bread and butter process, a long dated process. You decide how you want to proceed. And maybe you don't even know, but we can help you figure that out. But it's all about making a ton of money. And a ton of money, once again, is different for a lot of different people. Some people want to, just be able to enjoy their lives, not have to work a traditional 9 to 5, but don't have to be rich. And that's perfectly fine. That's a successful trading career because you can do it into perpetuity. You don't have to worry about getting older and having to retire. I know for myself, I hope to be trading options, trading in the markets, participating in the markets until I die, triple digits from now, if God willing. Let's break down this process. Now, at the Dorian Trader, what we like to do is start off by saying we're going to have 5K. We're going to have $5,000 allocated to every one contract that we do. And we're trying to make 1 to 2% off that 5K. So if you had $5,000, that's all you had in your account, and you're going to try to make 1% to 2% per day using a 1 DTE strategy, then that means 1% you need to make $50. You need to make $50 to collect 1%. If you're going to do 2%, you're going to need to collect $100 per day off your 5K. Now think about that. 1 to 2% every single day. That is your goal. And when you lose, you want that loss to be significantly small. And when you're doing this trade, you're going to have super high probabilities, 70+%, ideally 80+% when you're doing the trade, when you're initiating the trade. So how does the process work? Well, at the Dorian Trader, what we do is we start off by looking at the VIX. This is the weekend, but we're still giving you an example that will apply. We start off by looking at the VIX and we do the rule of 16. We take what the VIX is trading at right now, that's 1730, and we divide that by 16. So we take that 1730 and we divide it by 16, we get 1.08%. Excuse my writing there. We get 1.08%. That is the expected move, the 1 day expected move. So you can use this calculation here, this VIX cash calculation, based on a 0 DT trade or a 1 DT trade. You cannot use it outside of 1 day because the rule is based on that percentage is based on 1 day. And so it doesn't work for the 7 DT trade or the bread and butter or the long dated stuff that we teach. So that's giving you a gauge of how much the market based on implied volatility is expecting the market to move percentage wise. Then what we do is we jump and we check the straddle price, right? So this is the straddle price here. So the straddle price is telling us that the expected move is about 31. We round that up to 32. We look at the expected move on the platform. In this case, the TastyTrade platform is saying about just under 29. So we say 29. We're going to go with the bigger number at 32, right? We're going to go with this number here at 32, that straddle number. And then what we're going to do is do 2 times that straddle number. So we're going to take the 32 and we're going to times it by 2, and that's going to equal 64. So we want to start off by trying to be 64 points away from what the current price is. And this is the current price right now if the market was trading, right? So we'll clear that, and then we'll take this current price, and then we're going to subtract 64 from the 43.69, and that'll give us 43.05. And so we're going to go down to the 43.05, and on the put side, that's going to be the 9 delta. They're going to do a 20-point wide spread. Okay? A 20-point wide spread using about $2,000 before fees and commissions. After fees and commissions, a little less than that. So that's the put side, about 1% away. On the call side, we'll take that 43.69, add 64 to it, and that's going to take us to the 44.33, and that's going to be somewhere around here, which is about a 3 delta. That's super far away. Okay? A 3 delta. But you can see that we're collecting $105 here. So if we wanted to do this trade, we can absolutely do it and be 2 times the expected move on both sides, or 1.08% away on both sides. And if we get 70% of that 105, say the 105 times 70%, you're going to get $73. That's more than the 1% that we're talking about making per day. And you got out at 70%, because that's what we teach at the Dorian Trader, to get out at 50 to 70%. You're not trying to hold this to the expiration. You're not trying to get all of this. You're trying to make this trade as risk-free as possible. You're trying to make this trade as safe as possible. So I take it to a whole nother level, and I try to get out of these trades within 30 minutes of the market open. You might decide to hold it longer, wait till you get that 50%, wait till you get that 70% all the time, and that's fine. You can do that. But for me, because I'm trading my personal account and teaching people throughout the day, I don't want to be in a trade that I have to worry about for too long. So I'm out of the trade as soon as possible. And usually for me, that's within 30 minutes of the market open when I'm doing these 1 DTE trades. So when do you put this trade on? Well, you can put this trade on anytime that expires the next day if you're doing a 1 DT trade. But at the Dorian Trader, we teach people to come in no sooner than about 2 hours for the market close, or give or take, right? Give or take around that time. But technically, you can come in at any time that expires the next day. But we tried recently, because of the market volatility, we try to wait as long as we can before we put the trade on, so we can understand our 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 situation for the next day as soon as possible, or best as possible. All right, so that this is the setup of the trade. You can decide if you're going to move the call side closer to at the money, if you're going to move the put side away from at the money. We have other videos talking about this, but this is the kind of setup of the trade. You put it on, and then you're going to have what we call a exit point, right? We already talked about a profit exit, but what about if the trade goes wrong? How are you going to adjust the trade? How are you going to put a stop loss? Are you going to have a stop loss? Are you going to adjust the trade? You have to determine that. We teach you several different ways at the Dorian Trader. I'm not going to discuss that in this video. We have others that we encourage you to check out. And you can always decide to join us at the Dorian Trader. Our name is changing to the Dorian Trader. We are also known as the Dorian Way. So a number of different changes happening across our firm over the next few months. With that said, we thank you for watching this video. We encourage you to like and subscribe to our channel. Watch other videos if you can. Let us know if you have any comments, good or bad. We appreciate them all. Thanks for now. See you next time.